With all the free multiplayer games out there, sometimes it's nice to just wind down and relax by playing a single-player game. I'm Jay from Cubold Gaming, and today I'll be showing you 9 single-player PC games that are 100% free. Even though some of these games are on Steam, a lot of them are lesser-known games that you can download free in other places. For those, I'll leave a link in the description for you to download. I tried to make these games different from every other list on YouTube, so hopefully there are some games on here that you've never heard of before. Number 9. Cave Story. Many people might be familiar with Cave Story Plus, but not a lot of people realize that the original Cave Story is 100% free on the creator's website. This game is a platformer shooter with a great story, awesome music, and incredibly fun gameplay. The game was originally a Japanese game created by a single developer, but it can be downloaded in English or many other languages. This action platformer game starts off slow, but the gameplay gets more insane as you progress. You get various weapons that you level up with experience, but if you get hit, you lose some experience and need to find some more. There's a pretty interesting story to the game as well, which gives you yet another reason to continue playing. Having played the remastered Cave Story Plus, I was surprised at how good the original Cave Story is. If you can't afford Cave Story Plus, I definitely recommend playing the original. Number 8. Gravity Bone. Gravity Bone is the shortest game on this list, but the interesting and mysterious story makes the game worth playing. In this game, you take the role of a spy named Citizen ABEL, and are ordered by HQ to complete various tasks for them. That's all I'll say about the story, since it's best to experience it for yourself. The art style of Gravity Bone is definitely a bit weird and simplistic, almost like a worse looking version of Paint the Town Red. Despite that, I found the game to be incredibly intriguing and enjoyable to play through. It's mainly based around their vague narrative, so don't expect any groundbreaking gameplay. There are some platforming elements to the game which I thought were pretty fun. For such a short game, Gravity Bone is fun if you're bored and don't know what else to play. I just want to take a brief moment to ask you to like and subscribe to Cubold Gaming if you enjoy our content. Every person who subscribes helps us out, and we appreciate that a lot. Number 7. Life is Strange Episode 1. Life is Strange is a game very similar to Telltale games with one unique twist. You can reverse time and change the outcome of situations. The story follows a girl named Max as she discovers her ability to reverse time, which allows you to reverse your decisions after seeing what happens in the future. You can make a decision, and if you don't like the outcome, then you can change it and decide which one you want. Sometimes you get more information in the future, so you can actually go back and change the outcome of the past. The story is a really unique concept, and the first free episode made me want to play more. The entire first episode is free, so you can play through it and see if you like the story. If you are interested in the story, there are 4 more episodes you can purchase, but episode 1 is always free to play. Number 6. Bear Party Adventure. Bear Party Adventure is a very weird game that's also quite fun. You start off the game in a happy bear village surrounded by animals that look like Care Bears, and then your entire village is taken hostage by enemy bears. You set out on a mission to visit the wizard who lives on the mountain, so that he can help you find the ones who took your friends. Along the way, you'll need to dispose of enemy bears using weapons such as flowers, crossbows, SMGs, and 8-ball grenades. This Source Engine game is surprisingly fun to play, even though a lot of it was meant to be a joke. The weapons are fun to use and the map is pretty fun to explore. The game also focuses on bunny hopping to reach faraway places. That, combined with the odd Care Bear style, makes it a very fun game that'll keep you entertained for a long time. Number 5. Super Crate Box. Super Crate Box is a game I used to play a ton back when I built my first PC. The idea of the game is to collect crates with various weapons. Monsters drop from the ceiling and make their way towards the bottom of the map, and your job is to destroy them before they go into the fire and become enraged. While doing that, you need to collect as many boxes as you can to get a high score. The longer you survive, the faster the game will be and the harder it'll get to survive. Getting high scores will unlock new weapons, characters, and maps to play on. There's actually a ton of different things to unlock, and you'll want to keep playing to unlock them all. It's a great game to play a little bit at a time when you have a few minutes to spare, or just play it constantly and try to beat your high score. Number 4. Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is known as one of the most complicated games of all time, and you'll quickly see why that's the case the second you start the game. The basic premise is that you take control of a band of dwarves and slowly start to build up a civilization. Every world has its own history and story behind it, and your dwarves have their own personalities. You can build homes for the dwarves and manage their resources, and build lots of other creative structures. Also, I apologize for my very boring gameplay, but I honestly completely forgot how to play since I used to play it a long time ago. The game has been constantly in progress since it was released in 2006, so it holds insane amounts of content. It takes a long time to learn how to play due to its complexity, and many people find it hard to see what's happening because of its unique graphics. Anyone who does learn how to play will enjoy an entirely new world to explore and create. Number 3. Samsara Room. Samsara, or Samsara Room, I'm not exactly sure what it is an incredibly fun escape room type game that I originally played on mobile. The game has a unique premise where the room changes based on what you do in the game. For example, the room can flip upside down or fill with water, making a new challenge every single time it changes. It has a somewhat creepy atmosphere to it, but it's definitely not a scary game. Samsara Room constantly surprised me with how creative and entertaining some of the puzzles are. You need to constantly experiment and try new things, even if those things seem impossible. The game throws so many random things at you that you never really know what to expect. I enjoyed this game so much that I actually went and played a lot of the developer's other games, and I highly recommend playing this one. Number 2. Spelunky. Although there are Spelunky 1 and 2 on Steam as paid games, the original Spelunky is available for free on the creator's website. The graphics are much worse, but the typical Spelunky gameplay is still there. The roguelike, procedurally generated levels make every game a unique experience, and the game can run on pretty much any PC. The gameplay isn't as smooth as the newer version, but if you can't afford the new version, then you can always download the original for free. I'm a big fan of the other Spelunky games, and I highly recommend checking out the original. Since Spelunky is an older game, it runs extremely well on older systems, making it a great game to get if you have a low-spec PC. Number 1. SCP Containment Breach. Most SCP fans will recognize Containment Breach, but many people like myself didn't know that this game is completely free for download online. You might think that this map looks familiar, and that's because the map from Containment Breach is the basis of the map from SCP's Secret Laboratory. The goal of this game is to escape the SCP facility while avoiding SCPs such as Peanut, Larry, and the Plague Doctor. The map is randomly generated, so it'll be different every time you play. Even in short play sessions, I experienced some incredibly tense moments that would make me afraid to explore deeper in the facility. SCP Containment Breach features a ton of other SCPs and plenty of secrets to find, so any SCP fan will definitely enjoy this horror game. And that's gonna be it for my top 9 single-player PC games. If anyone knows any games that I may have missed, please let me know so I can go check them out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.